This story begins with silence.
A long silence that lasted 400 years, for centuries of waiting to hear from the God we worshipped.
God had not spoken. No prophet had given us a fresh word from him. King had shown us the way to him. We prayed, offered our sacrifices, kept the festivals and holy days.
But there had only been silence and waiting.
As we waited, our people looked to the ancient text that told us of another time of silence and waiting, when there was a vast nothingness and was spoken and his spirit moved.
God creating and breathing life into the world.
We look to our ancient heroes of faith and the centuries of slavery in Egypt. We remember the night of our liberation when the death angel passed over.
We relive the Red Sea crossing and our wandering in the wilderness when Jehovah was live.
A succession of kings ruled over us, and the more we turned away from putting God on the throne, the more desperately we needed him.
Finally, the nation was destroyed, not by enemies who had conquered us, but by our own unfaithfulness to the one who gave us everything.
Yet even in our destruction, God had promised we would not be forgotten. A son would be given, a Savior would come.
The silence is broken, and God would speak.
Every longing and need we had will be met as the Spirit breathed new life into our world.
At last, the wait would be over. Every prophecy would be fulfilled. And the most amazing part of it is that the two of us would be helped chosen to bring it to pass.
Who would have imagined that God would break his silence in the way he did, or that she would hear his message from an angel's lips? He said, "Don't be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will give birth to a son. Call him Jesus."
The Spirit gave me the words to answer. At the very moment, Joseph was weighing what to do about my situation. He would be told in a dream, "Don't be afraid. Mary will have a son. Call him Jesus. He will save his people from their sins."
Jesus' decree came at the worst possible time. Mary was nearing the time to deliver her child. Our journey to Bethlehem to register was difficult for her. Everything she had been called to do was difficult. Already she had endured scorn, mistrust, and danger. But when God called, she simply answered, yes.
Faith in God had carried me through the 9 months of being an outcast and the target of endless gossip. Faith had given me peace when Joseph doubted me. Faith had provided strength and courage as we traveled to Bethlehem. I had faith. I had God. Still, I will confess the moments when I wondered about a God who would give such a task to a woman like me. I had traveled Many moonless nights, cold and weary, with a babe inside, and I wonder what I'd done. Holy Father, you had come and chosen me now to carry your Son. I am waiting in a silent prayer. I am frightened by the load I bear, but I offer all I am for the mercy of your plan. Be with me now, be with me now. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, lighten my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, do you wonder as you watch my face if a wiser one should have had my place? But I offer all I am for the mercy of your plan. Help me be strong, help me be, help me. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, lighten my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, lighten my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, breath of heaven. Jesus came into the world in the exact way God had planned it all along. In spite of the difficult circumstances, everything about him was perfect.
Suddenly, there were shepherds peering through the doorway of the stable. When they saw Mary and me, and then the baby, lying in the feeding trough, they came in and fell to their knees before him, and they worshipped him. Many years later, John would write, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory." Mary and I were the first to see it. Then the shepherds who came in from the hills that night caught a glimpse.
And ever since then, people had found their way to him, one way or another. When they seen him for who and what he really is, they loved him for what he would have done and what he have did. Tears are falling, hearts are breaking. How we need to hear from God. You've been promised, we've been waiting. Welcome, Holy Child. Welcome, Holy Child.
We didn't know it, but wealthy men were already on their way to honor him. They brought precious gifts to lay at his feet.
Heaven's Son was worthy of even more.
He deserves everything we hold dear.
So we let go of all we value, all we cling to.
We lay down anything that would keep us from surrendering our lives to him.
Because the truth is, He is the only treasure that really matters.